Hello, hello, and welcome to the themoannaadams podcast, where we talk all things travel, wellness, and teenage girl. I'm your host, Moana, a full-time travel teen. I have a great episode for you this week, so let's get into it. Hello, hello. I am actually really excited that I'm recording right now because I feel like I need some time to be positive and do something that makes me feel good. And I love recording because it's so much fun for me and I have a great time doing it. When I'm recording, it's like I'm journaling. I just have so much fun recording. And so I'm really excited to record today because, and I say that every time, but it's true. I'm always excited to record. I was a little worried that I wasn't going to get to today, but it's like 9 o'clock at night. And we're about to start, so let's do this. Today we're talking about it's a bad day, not a bad life. We all have bad days, and we'll get into everything, but first let's do where I am, life update, grateful, currently loving, all the things. So it has been, I feel like since Halloween. Today is November 22nd. I feel like since Halloween, everything has been so crazy. Launched the podcast on Halloween day. So now I have a new responsibility that I'm keeping up with every single day. And then we are in the end of the trip, the last month of the trip. Actually, we have less than a month left. We only have, 2 weeks, I think? Is that for real? Oh my god. I did not realize that we only had 2 weeks left. I'm pretty sure it's only 2 weeks. That's insane. But we're in West Virginia right now. We just came from Maryland. And then the next 3 weeks, or the next 2 weeks, we're seeing family. Starting tomorrow, from tomorrow, then on, every single day of the trip, we're going to be seeing family. And then we'll be back in Georgia. So it's been really crazy. And there's been a lot of things happening. Plus, trying to keep up with normal life as difficult as it is. And it just kind of feels like things have been piling on and on and on. So I'm really behind on recording. But we're still doing this, episode 8. And yeah, right now we're in West Virginia. It's really pretty and freezing cold. When we got to West Virginia, we were supposed to get propane. We're in a very small town. We're in Mooresfield, I think is what it's called. And we were supposed to get propane. There's only one place in town that you can get propane, and that's Tractor Supply. So we were supposed to go get some. When we got there to get some, they had just run out. And we have no propane. And so the rig at night is 45 degrees while we're sleeping. This morning we all woke up freezing cold. A lot of people probably are confused by this, but when you're in the RV, you have electric heat and propane heat. Electric heat can only get up 20 degrees higher than what it is outside. Propane doesn't really matter. It can get up as high as you want it to be. But we don't have propane to do that. So if it's 27 degrees outside, it's going to be 47 degrees in the rig. And so it's been freezing cold at night. This morning we all woke up and were freezing cold. So we all got into the Jeep and drove to the closest Walmart and bought 2 space heaters, like electric heaters, to heat the rig up more. My dad even this morning, while we were all freezing cold, turned on the air fryer and opened it to get some warmth in the rig. So it's just been a very crazy couple of weeks. But now, I think after these next 2 weeks, it's gonna be even crazier the next 2 weeks with all the family we're seeing, which I'm excited about, but it is gonna, turn my routine upside down. And then we're gonna be home. And that's going to be insane because there are so many people I'm so excited to see. And we're also going to stop traveling for a while. So it's very bittersweet. I'm terrified and excited. My whole life is going to get flipped upside down. But I think it'll be fun. So we'll see what happens next for after the trip. I have no idea what life is going to look like. So that's your life update. Let's just go into gratefuls. I am grateful that we had some really good spent quality time with family in Maryland. It was really great. I was very excited to see family, but I was not excited to go to Maryland because it was the that's the state that I had already been to. So starting in Maryland till the end of the trip, I have already been to all the states we're going to. So there's nothing new. It's all old, which I also feel like is very fitting because we always spend a lot of the fall to winter holiday season doing lots of road trips to see family. So it's kind of more natural, I guess. But I'm very grateful that we got some really good quality time with family because I've said it before, quality time is my love language. And yeah, I'm really happy with how that went and excited to see more family tomorrow. We're going actually to the town that I was born in, my hometown, Lexington, Virginia, to see my mom's family. And my mom she drove up today, so she's waiting for us when we get there tomorrow. And I'm very excited. Now, what am I currently loving? Or what am I currently in love with is making lists. Specifically, my Christmas list. I have said it so many times, but I am obsessed with Notion. I love me some Notion. And I have this giant Christmas list on Notion full of, I have 3 categories, big, medium, and small things. And they all have links because originally I had this wish list just for me to save money for it or to see if I still wanted it in a few months. And they were like, well, we need to know what you want for Christmas. So, and all of your aunts and uncles and grandparents are asking, so can you just share it with us? So I put links in. It took me a few hours to put everything, all the links and everything, but I'm really excited for how it turned out. I think all the things on there are there's a few more impulsive things, but most of them are very intentional. I try and have been trying to be much more intentional with the things that I ask for and put on my wish lists because I still live in an RV, and right now at least, and I also don't need a ton of physical things. I really want to make an episode on this, but living minimally, I just have always been a hoarder since I was little. I wanted to keep everything, and so now I'm working on letting go of the physical things and embracing more of the adventures and the experiences. So my Christmas list is what I'm currently loving, and it's really fun to add things and give them titles and things for my family to see because I think I'm very funny about them. So yeah. Now, let's get into the bulk of the episode because this is something I actually just had the idea for this episode a few days ago, but I've been talking about this and implementing this into my life for a very long time, so I'm excited to talk about it. Bad days don't make a bad life. It's a bad day, not a bad life. Just because you had a bad day does not make your life awful. And just because you had a few bad days in a row does not make your life terrible. It's okay to have bad days. We all have bad days. Everybody does. I have bad days all the time. All the time. The important thing to remember is that you can always turn it around. You can start fresh in the morning, or if it's early enough in the day, or even late enough, you can still turn it around. Let's talk about first what creates a bad day, right? What makes a day bad? I definitely think that my bad days are usually from having built up stress and not taking breaks, like I talked about in episode 6, and building all of my anxiety and my stress, everything up to the point where I snap, and then for a good day or two I'm down and I am very unproductive and just have a hard time doing things, honestly. And so I think that's where a lot of my bad days come from. Yours might not. It might be from getting a bad grade. There's a million things that it can be. Someone's rude to you, whatever it may be. Or it might be something even more serious, like some sort of family emergency. Things like that can always turn a day from going great to going really poorly. And it's not possible for every day to be great. We have to have bad days for us to learn. If you didn't have a bad day, then how would you have a good day? How would you have an incredible day? How do you have really, really great days if you don't have bad days? Yes, can we avoid bad days? Absolutely. There are definitely things that we can do to avoid them, but that doesn't mean they're not going to happen. I think one way that definitely makes my days better and helps me stay away from bad days is having a really solid morning routine that sets me up for success. if I actually do my morning routine through and through, then I will be able to be more productive throughout the day. If I have done my morning routine right, I have eaten, had water, my face is washed, my teeth are brushed, I'm dressed in an outfit that makes me feel productive and good, and I've journaled, and all my thoughts that may be crowding my mind are out on paper. And so when I do that, that helps me get ready for the day and set me up for success. Another thing that we can do is to remember that you make your decisions on how other people affect you. If your happiness, if your good days are based on other people and the way they treat you, you're not going to have very many good days. You have to push away people who are negative and who bring you down and keep them from your energy. Protect your energy. Don't let them hurt you. If you wouldn't take advice from them, why would you take criticism from them? If a lot of your bad days stem from someone being rude to you or someone saying something to you that makes you feel bad, you might want to pay attention to how those people are making you feel and realize, hey, maybe this person's not so good for me. Maybe I need to step away from this person. Maybe I need, and if you can't, sometimes it's really hard to get away from those kinds of people. You have to do whatever you can to focus on your own mental health and get it to where you don't care what they have to say, because it doesn't matter. Just because they say it doesn't make it true. Just because someone says something about you doesn't make it fact. That just shows that they're insecure. So by not letting other people bring you down, that's going to help you stay away from those bad days and turn your good days into bad ones when they say something to you, because you don't care what they have to say. It doesn't matter. That's a lot easier said than done, and it's something that I'm working on that I'm sure most people are, or at least should be. And we can't always avoid the bad days. So what can we do to turn them around and take a bad day and make it better? I think the first thing that I always try to do is ask myself 3 questions. Have I had enough water? Have I eaten enough food? And have I taken a break? Water, 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 water. We hear it all the time, especially in the wellness and health and fitness world. Water, water, water. Water is so important, but so difficult. I have been struggling for the past few weeks to drink enough water. A few weeks ago, there was a week where I drank 3 or 4 sips a day, and I could feel myself being more tired during the day and not getting as much done and feeling like just bad. And mentally, I was exhausted. And emotionally, I was just not that happy. Now I'm back to working on my water intake and trying to bring it back up, but that's hard. I have my water bottle with me all the time. The amount of times my family members bring it and sit it in front of me is insane, but I still can't seem to drink it, and I don't know what it is, and I'm still working on it. By having enough water, that means I'm hydrated, and that's going to help my energy go up. Have I eaten enough food? Same thing. I have not been doing a very good job on food the past few weeks either. Recently, all I've been eating is a yogurt for breakfast, protein pasta for lunch, and whatever's made for dinner is what I eat. I have been getting very few fruits and vegetables, and sometimes I forget to eat the yogurt in the morning because I'm getting up too late. So I'm working on it, and I'm trying to get back into focusing on my health and wellness. But it's hard. It's really hard. I think a lot of people struggle with those kinds of things, and I know I'm going to make a few episodes more deep into those things later, but by asking myself those, and then also, have I stepped away? Have I taken a break, taken a pause, assessed how I'm feeling, and tried to figure out what is the main root cause of my negative emotions or the bad day that I'm having? Once I've kind of assessed and figured out those 3 things, then I can take more physical actions. Take a shower is really great. It helps clear your mind, clear your soul, clear your body, and makes you feel much more fresh and clean and ready to take on whatever you need to. I always try to use whatever motivation I can to wash my face, moisturize, put oils on, serums, whatever it may be, because you've been stressed all day from your bad day. So your skin's going to need a little extra love. And then get dressed in an outfit that you feel good and confident in, but you're also comfortable in and you can get stuff done in. Maybe it's a good idea to go outside, take some time outside, just get out of the house or wherever it may be and get some fresh air. If there's water near you, walk by it. Take some time away from the screens and away from artificial lights. While you do that, if you're not ready to put away the screens, put on music, positive music, happy music. I am definitely also going to be making an episode about the music we listen to and how it affects us. Or put on a really great podcast that makes you feel good and that's educational and that helps improve you. This one is a little bit more difficult for a lot of people, I think. This is much easier if you're alone. Go to your room, go outside, go somewhere private, turn on music, even if it's in your earbuds, and dance like nobody is there, because nobody is there. Literally dance your heart out, move your body, and just jam out for 2 songs, 1 song even. It will instantly bring up your mood, I promise you. I used to do this all the time. Now that we're in the rig, it's a little bit more difficult to just do that, but I also dance instead of walk all the time. I feel like when I'm walking around the rig, I dance all the time, especially when I'm eating. Yesterday, my dad and I were eating lunch. We were having tacos, and I was literally dancing while eating my tacos because I was so excited to eat the tacos, and they were delicious. So dance as much as you can because that's going to bring up your mood. I promise you. It works on me all the time. I trick myself into being excited and being happy just by dancing. And then this is one that I like to do, not all the time, but sometimes, is to make myself my favorite drink, especially a warm drink. I have said it, I think I said it in episode 5, but I am obsessed with apple cider. I think I have a mug of apple cider sitting in the microwave right now waiting for me when I get inside because it's getting cold in the Jeep. Make yourself a really good drink. Try not to make it too sugary, too sweet, but make it delicious and make it something that you love and that brings you joy. I also really love to journal and brain dump everything from the day, from the week, however much it is. I like to get it out on paper, get it in front of me so I can organize it better and get it out of my head. I am not very good about talking to people. I'm getting better at it, but I tend to bottle things up, so letting it out on paper definitely helps put me in a better mood and make me feel a little bit better. And with that, write what you're grateful for, or if you don't like to write it, I have 5 different ways you can do it in episode 3. It's probably one of my favorite episodes. But write or say, or however you want to do it, practice gratitude. After that, this is one that I have not done very much recently, but read a book. If you like to read. That makes you feel positively and it's good for your brain. I have not read a book in months. I don't think I've read since July, but other than for school. I might give it a try when I get home and I'm more settled. We'll see. I always go through phases where I'll read 20 books in 3 months and then I won't touch a book for another 8 months. It's a whole thing. I don't even know how to fix it. I just read, and then a year-long slump. So, if you are into books, read a book. And then, like I said before, I'm not great at this, especially with family. Friends is a little bit easier for me, but call someone and talk it out. Vent, but before you vent, ask before you dump. Ask before you trauma dump, ask before you emotion dump. There's a big difference between emotion dumping and venting. When we vent, we're just explaining our frustrations, usually in a comical way to burn off steam and just, complain to each other to feel reassured and appreciated and feel relatable. But when we emotion dump and trauma dump, we are splurging out our heart and our souls onto somebody and they might not be ready for it. You need to ask them, how's their mental state? How are they feeling before you go and dump everything from your life onto them? So make sure to do that. Make sure that you ask first. Because I think a lot of people don't realize this, but you might be putting more pressure and anxiety and stress on them that they did not need. They could not handle that. And you might push them into having a bad day. So just ask before you dump. So those are all the things that you can do. I know that was a very quick, speedy list, but I'm freezing cold. It's getting cold in the Jeep, so I want to wrap this up. You got a really nice long intro. But just because you have a bad day does not mean you have a bad life. You can always turn it around. You can always start fresh in the morning. And when you wake up the next morning, do your morning routine as best as you can. And then schedule a break. Pick a day on your calendar and try your best. I know it's hard when you're in school or working, but find a day, even if it's on a weekend. Maybe even talk to family and friends and let them know, I need a day. You need a mental break. You need to take care of yourself. Schedule one out so that you can have a little bit of a reset, get back into your routines to avoid those bad days. Now, I think that's all I have for you today. I feel like I talked very fast and you got tons of information in 20 minutes, maybe less than that. But I hope you enjoyed. I hope you use this to make your bad days better. That's it. That's all I got. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to give this podcast a rate and review, as well as follow me on all my socials linked in the show notes. Don't forget to drink some water, and I'll talk to you later.